Welcome to the Adaptive Athlete Podcast, the place for stories of adaptive athletes in the CrossFit space and beyond. I'm your host, Matt Hotho. On today's episode, we're talking with Florian Gruhlke. Florian is a multi-year adaptive games athlete who competes in the standing diagnosed division. In 2021, Florian was diagnosed with multi-joint osteoarthritis. In our conversation, we talk about training with his impairment, but also what it's like trying to build a brand and get sponsors when you have what is essentially an invisible disability. Check it out. Welcome back to the Adaptive Athlete Podcast. I'm here with Florian Gruhlke. Florian, how you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So we were talking before we went live. You've got 2 young kids and a wife at home, and you're on kid duty right now.
I am, yes. Always at night, every day.
So what does that mean for you? I mean, your kid, how old are your kids, and what does that look like for you at 10:30 at night?
Nearly 3 and 1.5. And right now with new job and commuting and stuff, that's normally the time I would try to get my workout in from like 9 to 11, right? Mm-hmm. So I always hope that they just stay in bed, but often than not, I have to get in and just put some bed, go to bed or something like that. So yeah. Right now, training is hard to get in there, but I mean that's life.
It is life, and the other life thing with kids that age is is that fun though when you have to go in and kind of calm them down a little bit when they're just kind of sleepy and they just want to fall asleep, and then you get to hold them while they fall asleep.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
it is.
So you're training though. You said you started a new job. That's been kind of throwing off your training a little bit.
Yeah. I'm commuting. I'm used to be 95% home office, so I was free in when I work out and could do. If I wanted to, I could have done like 2 sessions a day or whatever. Now at least like in the beginning, now I have to get there every day, and it's like in 1 hour commute in one direction. So it's 2 hours on the road plus the 8.5 hours of work. So I basically leave the house at 6, come back at 5ish, then kids till 7, then get some food and get some time with my wife, and then at 9 I try to get a workout in.
Gosh. There are so many people listening to this who are like, that is my life. That is my life.
I mean, to be honest, right now, if I wouldn't train for the games, I would probably just do like 1 or 2 sessions, short ones a week, and that's it. So I can see if people always say, I'm too busy working out, and people say, no, you're not busy enough. You have the time. Yes, you maybe have the time, but don't always have the energy at night to start working out at 10ish after like a 12-hour day. So I can see that, and but right now we have to get it done. So
no, I think that's such a tension with adaptive athletes because especially when we get to this level of games training, like we're training for an elite level of fitness, but we don't have the resources available, i.e. Sponsorships or self-funded kind of things where we can just train 24/7. Also, the majority of us are probably skew older than the elite, able-bodied games athletes, I would imagine, which means we probably have responsibilities at home like you do tonight, kids and that kind of stuff, right? Where we can't just put all that aside and head into the gym and hit, 2 sessions over the course of 3 hours.
Yeah. I always like to see myself as an elite athlete, right? Because at the level we kind of reached, or that where we are competing at. But on those days where it doesn't really feel like it. It's you're just happy with getting anything done. So yeah.
No, thanks for diving into that conversation, because I do think there's a lot of people who listen to this who struggle with that, and then at the same time struggle with finding solutions to that, right? Is there more money out there for adaptive athletes so that they can maybe find a little bit more time to support their training? And I think that's really tough. I think there's very few, I can maybe think of 3 adaptive athletes right now who can really make training darn near a full-time thing.
Yeah.
And that's probably
I don't want to go on the rant in the first few minutes, but I think that
You want to hold it? We can hold it.
No, it's all right. The whole sponsor thing, I'm really, Yeah, I've only had like bad experience this year with companies relating to sponsoring, because like when you're at the games or when you're at Wodapalooza and talk to them, they come up to you when you talk to them and say, yeah, let's do something for the games or whatever, sponsoring. But as soon as you try to get in contact with them after a season, right, it's either you get no contact back, or it's just pushing you like away or something. Most really just ghost you. So, and that's my experience I had this year so far. Where I mean, I can understand if companies say, yeah, that's not really something we're interested in, but I'm happy to hear that. And I know where I'm at. But saying one thing when you meet them and then no response is something I'm really kind of pisses me off a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's tough because like I when I don't get a response to something, I'm often one to go. And there are people, again, listening to this who will probably go, this has happened to me, where you just don't get the response and you just go, well, I guess they're not interested. Because there's sort of this maybe victim mentality that we have as adaptive athletes where we're not so confident to be able to go, no, I matter. And I'm going to message them again. And I'm going to message them again. And I'm going to sell myself. I think we feel like, oh, they're just not interested.
Yeah. And see, what I do, I am very persistent. I do message them a lot. Then, if I don't get an answer after a week, I message them again. Especially if I see like it's on read, so they've seen it at least. I message them again. And something I don't really feel like doing is like selling myself as a victim, because that's kind of I think that's something what they want to hear, and even like you want to do in your Instagram stories and see I'm still doing that even though I have this or that. And I don't feel like doing that. So that's kind of, yeah. I think you're correct with that. Yeah, you always think like, yeah, maybe I'm just, especially for me, I've not a lot of followers on Instagram because, as I said in the pre-talk, I think it's not very interesting to watch me work out.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's not necessarily something that has to stay this way. So. Yeah.
Let's settle on that. Let's go back to that in a minute because I have some thoughts.
Yes,
and maybe you can help. I'll cross my fingers to see if it'll help me remember that. So let's talk about your disability and what makes you an adaptive athlete.
Yes.
And then we can dive into how we can represent that on social media and things like that. So what makes you an adaptive athlete?
I have multi-joint osteoarthritis. So basically osteoarthritis in multiple joints. For me, it's all on the left side so far. Where it stems from, yeah, we don't kind of know yet. It could be something metabolic, it could be something that I get from my parents, who knows. Doctors, I don't know how the doctors in the States are, but here, as soon as I know it's osteoarthritis, basically, yeah, that's your diagnosis. Have fun, right? There's no money in just finding out where it stems from, really. So I kind of have to get my way from this person to that person and just trying to figure out where it's from. But yeah, I'm still in the process of that.
How does your disability impact you then when you're doing CrossFit movements?
That's always hard to tell because first of all, you feel it in like the just power generation. I mean, I've never been a good Olympic lifter, but my numbers decreased by a lot compared to adaptive times. Other than that, just with just like keeping movements, I have problems with just like coming down from the bar and getting like into the swing. Big arch really is a problem for me. All that stuff, hanging from the bar can be a problem. I always tend to, when like doing like a bar muscle up, I tend to use my biceps a lot to just save the joints and stuff like that. And this leads from one thing to another. And yeah, it's always very tight. Like stretching is something that I don't do to get more mobile, just to stay with a little mobility that I still have left in some joints. And it's a lot of stuff related to one thing leads to another. And
So if a coach were to watch you do a bar muscle up, they might say, Florian, don't use your bicep so much.
Yeah.
And you would say, Coach, I can't, do a full arch and hollow because of pain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I mean, in one special of when you have like the movement requests is always for me, for people to watch, because I have the worst is my elbow on the left side. So I have bone spurs or osteoarthritis in my left elbow.
Yeah.
So when I do we had the dumbbell snatches in the semifinals, and first few reps were nowhere near locked out in the left elbow, but I just can't, because I have to get some movement. It kind of stretches the joint out a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe, but you can see it, how it like every rep get a little bit more locked out.
Okay.
And that's kind of one thing. And just all thing where you have to like violently move stuff. So Olympic lifting and kipping gymnastics is really where I feel it.
So Florian, you just described to me the way that your disability impacts you when you're doing CrossFit movements. So as we go back to, I'm just going to pull us back to that conversation about like describing it on social media and explaining it for people, right?
Yeah.
Like if you just posted a video of you doing a bar muscle up without any explanation, it would look like someone's just doing a bar muscle up that's bicep heavy.
Yeah. Or people always say, either when I do muscle up, it's very slow. It's the slowest muscle up they've ever seen, because I just have to pull myself around, or it looks like somebody just learned a muscle up. That's kind of the thing. So I always nowadays I really think about what I post, because it's hard to for people that just maybe find my page or go there somewhere else, see that and see that maybe it looks like I'm someone who just learned a muscle up, or maybe the other day I did 3 in a row, which is a big thing for me, because just getting down and into the swing and getting back up again is a big problem. But this is not a big deal for a lot of people.
So have you thought about what it would look like for you to do your social media or do your Instagram in a way that would educate people on what is different about the way you have to do this movement?
I thought about it, but I have a hard time like communicating it, right? So, I mean, most people that try to be a little bit more competitive in CrossFit have like knee problems and stuff. And when I meet someone that says, "Oh, my knee hurts, I have problems going to the squat," I just save it for a few weeks. I would say, yeah, that's how my knees feel every day, both of them, and my elbow as well, and my shoulder as well, and my wrist as well. So this is something most people can relate to, but since you don't really see it, it's hard to get that to people.
Like on Instagram, something that values photos and videos. Those are ways that your disability isn't going to really show itself. You would have to do the work of augmenting those photos or videos with written words or spoken words that are compelling enough to explain what's going on for you.
Yes.
So I'm pushing at this because this was something we were talking about before we went live, and that's what kind of makes it difficult to be a standing diagnosed athlete, or in some ways to be an athlete with an invisible disability.
Yeah,
we've touched on this with Yosine and with Dan and other athletes. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's just hard to. So with maybe, I don't know if it's with how it's with other divisions, especially divisions that are clearly in one division. But when we met last year, the standing diagnosed, the first thing a lot of people asked the other one is, what do you actually have? Because I mean, we could not tell. So how are people supposed to tell that have no idea that we're in a standing diagnosed division or what standing diagnosed even is? And since it's so diverse, what you can actually have, it's kind of hard to communicate that, right? So, I mean, we always say invisible disability, and that's kind of describes a problem because you cannot actually see it.
Right. But that just diagnoses the problem. It doesn't solve it necessarily.
No.
Again, when it
Yes.
comes to raising awareness about these athletes like you,
Yes.
your stories, your platform, that kind of thing.
Yeah. As you said, I would have to, and sometimes I think about just doing a video and just laying some text over or talking in the background and explaining why this is a big deal and what actually is going on. But other times it's just like you think, working out is hard enough. I don't want to, I need to do that, but it's just even if you met people or if you meet people to do workouts with them and you have to explain to them and you feel like they kind of don't get it, right? I always feel like I don't want to throw that out into the internet and see what backlash I get. So this is a little bit anxious, I would say, maybe just scared of this whole thing, but no.
Well, no, Florian, I appreciate your transparency there. Because I don't think you're alone in feeling that way. Yeah. I think that is a real barrier to adaptive athletes putting themselves out there on social media. God forbid they hear, "What's wrong with you? You don't look disabled." Like that's such a dismissive thing to hear. And then it puts you on your back foot of having to say, "No, I really am." It's not a great conversation starter. And no, I feel like you end, right. I feel like sometimes in social media you end up there, like people, trolls, or well-meaning people who just don't use the right language, just put you in a position where you're on the defensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to always when I film a lot of stuff I do. I film lift, I film gymnastic stuff just to look back at it and see how it looks. Mm-hmm. And I look at it and I see how I feel about it. And I would say, if it doesn't look like something like an individual high level athlete, not necessarily games athlete, but a good individual athlete would do, I would just scrap it and not post it.
Yeah.
I started already posting stuff that I would say is that I wouldn't have in the past, but it's still that I look at it and say, that doesn't look like a games athlete. Right. Mm-hmm. So I don't post it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being an athlete, who do you train with?
I train with my dad, who is 60. Let me light 2.
Okay.
We've been training together for the last, 6-7 years or so. So he's my training partner and coach.
That's amazing.
If you want to say coach,
sure.
He's always at the games with me. He's doing the traveling with me and all the stuff. So, yeah.
That'd be really cool to get to do that with your dad. I would
think. We started CrossFit 2012 together and sticking to it since then, basically. I had this, as I said, up and downs from doing how much I did, but we always come back to it somehow, and he's always working out with me. And
have you and your dad gotten closer through it?
I would say yes. Yeah. We've always been very close, but just seeing each other every day and working out. Right now, it's as I said, hard with working out. But beforehand, sure. Yeah. I mean, and who sees his dad every day, who is already not living with them anymore? I mean, we now live next to them, so that's another thing. Yeah. But that's something. Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, that's a gift. So he was with you in 24 when you placed third?
Yes.
What?
2024.
Yeah. How proud was he?
Very proud. He was more scared or like nervous while doing the workout and before than I was. So
was it?
I think
I've got the leaderboard up here. Was it close?
It was very close. Okay. I don't know how close it felt very close. I think with the last workout, I was pretty sure that if I don't get last, I'm fine. I'm staying in third. But the days before I started the first day, I went to bed and was first, woke up with judging changes, and we had some problems with the ski erg on the first workout. Some athlete was second, and then it kind of was up and down. I mean, Eli cruised through in our division, so he was, I think, from second day on was always first, but third was a hard fight, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks like, I mean, the difference was 50 points by the end, but I imagine you and Carl were going back and forth.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. No, that's cool.
Yeah. And so, Carl is actually the guy from Adept Aeon who did the Waterpalooza this year.
Oh, so cool.
It was kind of fun, not competing against him, but like for him or with him, or how I will say it. It's a cool thing that it's so close, or that he's in our division.
Did you compete at WASA this year?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Wow. Was pretty last minute. I mean, with all the things. So I was pretty happy that I was able to go. And we were only 4 people in our division, but was a lot of fun. Yeah.
What division were you in at WASA? Because I saw that like Josh Robinson, Brian Nuno.
Open standing is what they call it.
Okay.
Was pretty much standing. We were all standing diagnosed.
Okay.
Guys in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. And how did WASA go?
I won.
Nice.
So pretty good.
Nice. I've got to go to that event. I mean, I live in Florida. I live in Clearwater, Florida, and so Tampa, Florida. So getting down to Miami should be, outside of just lodging, getting down to Miami should be an easy trip.
I already said I'm going to be back next year. It's going to be in March next year. So
yeah, much better.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it felt like I've been to the games a couple of times. It felt like that. Just like a big. I mean, they call it a fitness festival. It didn't really feel like that. I had a very, very good time. I didn't like the location for one reason, that it's very expensive. Like it's a tourist hotspot, right? Yeah. So getting dinner, getting hotels and stuff like that was very expensive.
Yeah, I think unless they move out of Miami, it's not going to get.
Yeah, I think so too. I would have liked to go to Waterpalooza in what is Huntington Beach, I think?
Oh, California.
Yeah. I have family in Chino Hills, so I've been coming to LA for like 20 years. So they live pretty close, but it's right 1 week after the games.
Yeah.
I have family. They don't have like an individual division, just the pair one, which is probably fun, but it's just not financially smart to do that.
So, yeah. I know one athlete. I can't picture who I think it might be Bailey Hooper. Bailey Hooper is going from Vegas to SoCal.
I mean, if I didn't have the new job and my family would have said yes, I would have thought about it. Yeah. Just spending 4 or 5 days with my family in LA and then just doing that just for fun for the buddy competition. But it's just not this year. Maybe we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So you have family in LA, but that would explain then why in 2016 you got to do something super cool.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I just at the games. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Back then, teams, teens, and masters.
Okay. So not the elite, like the top 40, but teens.
I don't know if they changed
age
it,
group and
but
masters.
Back then it was only if you actually worked for CrossFit, you would able to do the individuals at the games.
Yeah, I think it's only seminar staff that do individuals. Okay, but you did teams, age group, and masters.
Teams, yeah,
okay. Yeah,
teams,
cool.
Teams, and age group masters.
Yeah, nice. What was that experience like?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, you had days from 6 to late at night, so every day was really spending a lot of time just standing in the sun and doing nothing, or just trying to look at the camera while waiting for athletes to come out, doing like a 5-minute workout, get back in line. But I had a great time, really. I did.
That's cool. And you got to be there for the beginning of Matt Fraser's Run to Dominance.
Yeah. And I feel like in my first big judging thing was 2013 CrossFit Invitations in Berlin. And I was able to judge Rich Roney. First judging time, Rich Roney. And then in 2016 at the games, I was able to judge CrossFit Mayhem on the Murph Run team event.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome.
That was kind of fun. And now I'm doing CrossFit Mayhem. So
you're doing their programming?
Yeah. The Mayhem athlete, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you use their Mayhem athlete programming, do you just follow it? Are there any perks that come with it? What's that like?
I try to change stuff how I think they would come up in standing diagnosed division. So I often just change the weights down a little bit.
Okay.
I always say it's like steps, right? If they have like 60 kilograms or 135 pounds in a workout, I often just do 115, right?
Okay.
Or something like that. And then the amount of like bar muscle up reps or chest to bar reps, and just scale that down. They often have scaled paths on every workout. Sometimes I just do this, and sometimes I think, no, that's just not right for me, and wouldn't have the same thing, like the same intention. So I try to, they always write in like, this is the time cap, this is the intensity you should have, and try to keep this, and then adapt for what I think is right for me and right for my division.
So you take the Mayhem programming and you adapt it to fit within where you think it's going to be. That makes sense. So what are you looking forward to at the 2025 games? This episode will go out before the 25 games, so we'll get to see afterwards if your predictions come true or your hopes come true.
So my hopes would get back on the podium, but I'm not really sure about it this year.
Okay.
So my hopes is no big gymnastic workouts.
Okay.
And then I hope that it's going to be fun, which is going to be, but I have some things in mind that I'm kind of, I don't know, not scared of, but it's with 2 floors this time. It's only in quotes, only 3 days. So we'll see if they do stay with 2 a day, which would make it 6 workouts, which can be a little bit on the lower side, I would say.
I would say that's on the lower side.
But I mean, 3 a day would be 9, which I think is a lot for to recover between. Then it's inside a hall. It's in Vegas, so probably if it's running, it's going to be High Rocks running style somewhere in the hall. So that stuff, I'm interested in the programming. Let's say it like this. It could be really good, but it could be not so good. Not from for me, right?
Yeah.
What I think could fit me, and so it could be something I'm pretty good at, but it could be bad for me as well.
So I've got 2 thoughts. One is I think it could be 8 events. I think it could be 3, 3, and 2, so that we have time for a podium on the Sunday night. So we could do 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and that would get us to 8 events, which wouldn't be bad. No. And then there's also the USA Weightlifting Masters and Adaptive going on.
So it's going to be a 1 rep max and something probably.
Yeah. What if they made us go up on that stage?
I hope so.
And do like a traditional weightlifting style, like do an Olympic clean and jerk and snatch where you actually have to like adjust your weights, and you're like, having to call your weights, and you get a minute.
But I'm not going to podium for sure. I can tell you
that would be wild.
Yeah, I thought about the same thing, especially for maybe my guess would have maybe to 9 or even 10 workouts was like a 2-parter as well. Just do something and find a 1 rep max after that or before that.
Yeah.
But I know that they are I feel like they try to keep it very safe, they did last year. So I don't know if they really want to have us do a 1 rep max right after workout if the spaces are small. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Can I interest you in a lightning round?
Sure.
All right. Awesome. So for people who haven't picked up on it yet, you are located in Germany.
Yes.
What is a great German snack that maybe we don't have in the States or don't have elsewhere that you like to eat when you're training?
When I'm training, there's most German stuff is not very healthy. So that's not healthy.
Then forget about training.
Yeah. The best German fast food, I would say, is currywurst, which is a sausage in like a curry sauce.
Oh.
You eat it with fries normally. It's very good. Yeah.
Is it like a poutine, like where it's all on top of the fries?
You can have it on top of fries. It can be on the side. It's just how you like it.
Okay.
But yes.
That sounds delicious.
It is. But
so you wouldn't eat that before working out?
No, I probably throw up. But it's a great comfort food.
Eat it after working out to recover.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of working out, what would be your ideal workout?
Something with some like a ski erg or bike erg or echo bike, something like that. Something and Olympic lifting, but low weight, high reps.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So something like I liked the Vodapalooza. We had 7 minute M-rep, 100 double unders, the rest of the time, as many sets as you can with 115.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
that was just grunt work. You don't have to be very good at Olympic weightlifting, right?
Right. You just have to be quick.
Yeah, you just have grunt work, I would say. It's like a power output. And that's something I think I'm kind of good at, right? Something you don't have to think about stuff. Just move the bar and move some ergometers, just calories.
Right. And I would say, I mean, looking at scores from the games last year, you placed second in that double-sided coin, which had that kind of buy-in of snatches, something, dumbbell something, burpees, and then handstand push-ups or deficit push-ups into how many snatches can you do in the remaining time? You got second in that one.
And the first one with the skier rowing and running, I came off first after the rowing. It's just the 1 mile that killed me.
Okay. It was the run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What's the goal outside of fitness that you currently have?
Good question. Just spending time with my kids, seeing them grow up is basically all I can wish for right now. Other than that, I'm pretty happy.
That's the best goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your kids have a book that they like to read at night or a routine that you get to do with them?
I put my big one, which is my daughter, to bed, and we always read a book where you have to it's like a air balloon that is not flying high enough, and she has to do the motion with the mouse to get it higher and stuff like that, or tap onto something and stuff like that. It's like a little stuff they have to do on every side, and that's kind of the book I read every night.
That's fun.
A couple of pages.
Yeah. I remember I read The Day the Crowns Came Home a bunch to my kid. I don't know if you guys have that one over there. And then you remember those books that are like Not the Hippopotamus?
Yeah.
Those cardboard books?
Yeah.
Yeah. We read those a lot. A lot. What's your favorite way to spend a rest day?
Just basically, staying at home with the kids, or maybe going to a park or something, with the family, and at night just relaxing, watching a show.
Then last question would be, you mentioned when we were talking beforehand that you love watching The Office. What would be your favorite cold open from The Office? My
favorite cold open would be, I think it's called Fire Practice, Fire Alarm. I don't know the exact English one, even though I'm watching it in English. It's where Dwight is practicing the fire drills they had like a couple of weeks ago, and it's just pure chaos, and everyone's doing what they're not supposed to do. And I feel like this is just CrossFit classes 101. It's just straight out of life. I feel it's a great scene.
Someone like throws a chair through a window, I think. To try and escape.
And someone climbs into the and it's not the roof, but tries to get through.
Oh, and Angela throws her cat up into the ceiling, I think. Yes. Nice. Yes, that is a great cold open.
That's the one I was thinking about. The one where Kevin brings I don't know if it's the cold open, but he's bringing his chili and he's falling on the stage. I mean, it's a classic one, right? That's how I feel walking out every day. That's kind of why.
I love it. That's such a good show. All right. I've got 2 final questions for you as we wrap up. One, if there's somebody who is looking at starting adaptive CrossFit, what would you tell them to encourage them?
I would say just, first of all, start with what you think is correct for you right now. I mean, we're also different in what we have, that it's really adapting for yourself very important. If you don't have a coach that knows you well enough to do that, and not try to go after what is considered RX for able-bodied, because it's just demotivating and really doesn't help with anything, because you feel like shit afterwards if you don't hit the time cap or don't the weights you think you should be able to do. And then just find someone that has the same thing as you, maybe, or something close. Hit them up on Instagram. I've never met an adaptive athlete that won't answer you. So see what they have to say, what they do, what they can say, what tips they have.
Yeah. Do you have adaptive athlete in your bio on Instagram?
I think I have adaptive games athlete in there.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I do too. I added that because so that people, when they reach out to me, can know if they have questions or anything like that.
Yeah, I went in there just because it sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Final question. This is the last question we ask on every episode. If you could go back and encourage a younger version of yourself, what would you tell them?
Yes. Start doing gymnastics now.
Okay. Practical advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the older you get, the more messed up or hurtful your joints get, the harder it is to learn it, but also learn it in the correct way. Mm-hmm. And I think with just more body awareness, a lot of stuff would be way easier, just learning it and doing them correctly in a young age. Yeah. I always pushed it aside because I never had the fun in doing gymnastics. And I said, I'll learn it later. And now I kind of.
Now it's like our bodies don't even do that.
Yeah.
It's like arch and hollow. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, Florian, thanks so much for being on the podcast, man.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast. We are just 5 days away from the Adaptive CrossFit Games happening in Las Vegas. If you're there in person, I would love to meet you. I'll be there competing in the neuromuscular moderate division, and when I'm not on the floor, I would love to talk to you, hear your story, and just get to say hey. And if you're watching from afar, you can follow Wheelwad at Wheelwad, and they will be posting live streams of both floors of competition all 3 days. So you can watch your favorite athletes compete this weekend. Follow the podcast, like, subscribe, tell friends about it, get people hearing these stories, because as you see these athletes compete, there's a story behind each athlete who's competing. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Matt Hotho, and I'll see you next time.